All right, welcome everybody to this week's showing, midway point for the Wing Car Group F here at Lanes Raceway. That's Eagle Motor Mid-America Group F class here at Lanes Raceway. Jay Latham on red, Bruce on white, Glenn on green, Nathaniel on orange, Jackson on blue, Randy on yellow. They're all getting their cars seated properly with their stickers on it. Also over here at the Oval, you can see that we got a hard body race fixing to kick off here. We got 5 racers ready to roll on it. It's been getting quite busy here the past couple minutes here. So sorry about the delay. 5:41 start time here. Randy Curley-Gorse getting his stuff set up. Just as soon as everybody gets their stuff stickered and ready to go, we'll get the main event wing car race up and running. This time I'm hoping, as long as T doesn't need any help, I'm hoping that I could stay here and help commentate this wing car race. A lot of the guys worked hard on their wing cars this past week. I know we've been working hard on Jackson's. I've been coaching Jackson here the past couple of weeks, helping him to become a better racer and try to keep his wits about him and not get so upset when he loses. He's been doing pretty good. Last night he raced in a practice race with a couple guys from out of town. And I think they're going to start joining in on some wing car action. So it's been a pretty eventful past couple days. I know Jackson's pretty excited to see how he's going to fare today. He's got a new motor plant in his car. Glenn Burden, strong out of the gate here this week. It's going to be tough to beat. Randy Kirtley, of course, always a front runner here. Bruce Bulletin back, a mixed card of bags here for these guys. Racers, are you ready? You're not? All right, watch your lights. Here we go. So racing's starting here. Like I said, Bruce Bulletin been out a couple weeks. He's done a little bit of work on his wing car. Kind of been secretive about it. Y'all are good? Yeah. And it looks like we're already into a little bit of an incident there in the upper left-hand portion of your screen. We'll see a car going through the S-turn just a little bit too quick. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. My mother in here playing some pinball. Don't forget, all Mother's Day here at Lanes Raceway, all mothers get to play pinball for free. So, what's that, Jay? Okay. No strike on red. He rode it forward. That's going to be a community there on orange. You guys know the deal. 4 red lights dropping out to a green. We'll be going racing. Of course, the kids over on the oval, as you can see here, they've already started just a little bit of racing there. They're racing for a box here at Lanes Raceway made by Jay Latham's Custom Slot Boxes. And, of course, Jay Latham in this race here, him and his dad, they make some really, really good slot car boxes. That's Jay Latham actually bringing the car back to the start-finish line. And I'll tell you what, I actually own one of those boxes, so I can attest that they are some of the best. Orange and blue going to take the second community here. That's going to be Nathaniel and Jackson there. Nathaniel really strong last week in the wing car. I believe he finished second, if I'm not mistaken, so he done really well. Right now, Randy Kirtley out in the lead. Jackson Daugherty there in a close second with 6 laps. And Glenn Burden right there on the heats, too. These three are going to be battling out pretty tough here. Of course, you guys know that we're missing a battler here for the series. Guillermo Sire, he's out for this week, Mother's Day and all. And this is going to be the first strike of the evening in the wing car series. And it's going to be, well, Jay Latham. He's got a couple of them in his hand here. So let's see what's going to be here. Green, Glenn Burden going to receive a strike here, his first. Jay Latham done a little bit of work on his car. Couldn't get a body to fit earlier today. He was riding just a little bit high, so he swapped back to the body here that you can see. He come off there on red lane. He swapped back to a body that came with it. It's in a little bit of rough shape here, but it seems like it's doing halfway decent. We'll see. He's trying a new chassis too this week, as he's been struggling the past couple weeks. Last week, him and Jackson had a rough go of it. So we'll see. Today, it already looks like he's doing quite well there, as he's hanging in there right amongst the podium guys. Get another yellow flag. 1 minute and 12 seconds left to go on the clock. This round robin one here. The track yesterday was getting a little bit dry slick, so we had to put just a little bit of glue on the track. So we put some glue around the donut, the S-turns, and right before the horseshoe there. So some of these cars probably going to act just a little bit different here today. But we were having some trouble, just some of the guys even keeping their cars on yesterday. The back end's kicking out with fish rubber. That's not supposed to happen. So we're running a little bit of glue there, and I think it's started to tighten these cars up just a smidge. But I think by the end of this race, it should be pretty good and flattened out. I actually used the drag strips foam roller to roll the glue out, so it's more even and linear and flat. So we had two cars getting in contact there in the horseshoe portion of the track. We'll see Jay Latham grab those cars and bring them around. So that's going to be a strike for red and orange. 2 strikes for red, 2 strikes for green, 1 strike for orange currently. One minute, still half of the heat left to go. Randy and Jackson still battling it out. Randy taking the advantage there as he's got more of a widespread push there coming around the donut portion of the track. He's able to hold that heat down. Jackson Daugherty, of course, you know, on the inside of that, not able to hold as much down on the inside. It's interesting. Looks like a car was on, but looks like Blue's going to take a strike here. Get a car shot off to the inside through the S-turn. Another hard spot here for wing cars because they're so lightweight and just wanting to drive straight in a linear line. A lot of the times the guide flag can't keep up with how light they are, and it ends up pushing through the S-turns. So that's going to be 2 for orange. So right now we got 2 red, 2 green, 2 orange, 1 blue. Jackson and Randy having a laughing good time. Got a red flag rotation already on the hard body class. We get a little bit of body-to-body interaction there between red and green, actually. That's kind of a rare case, actually, for those two to get involved. It's looking like that's going to be the 3rd strike there for red. Third for red, 3rd for orange. Who got senior 5 strikes? I missed it. All right, Nathaniel Burden, senior 5 strikes this evening. We'll need to get a picture of him. He's going to get a free Yoo-hoo here at Lanes Raceway. Make sure after the break, let my wife know he needs his picture made with a Yoo-hoo. 19 seconds left to go, and we got a car coming off on the inside, dive bombing down low. And that's going to be a strike for blue. That's blue's 2nd strike. It's a rough start of this race. People coming off of the brushless are used to how the brushless handles, and these cars here brake on a dime. So a lot of different changes here and how the sensitivity and brake needs to be set on a controller, just the difference in how the motors act. But nonetheless, it'll take them a heat, maybe two, to get used to it and figure it out, but they'll come into their own for sure. Randy Kirtley's going to end this heat in the lead by about 4 laps. Let's see here. Randy Kirtley in the lead, 41 laps to Jackson's 37, to Glenn's 33, to Bruce's 32, to Jay's 23, to Nathaniel's 21. Going to leave you guys over here with the oval and clear the strike system before I forget. Let you guys watch them play on the oval for a few minutes, and I'll be right back with you. All right, I'm back. I was just picking some fun with Nathaniel. He did actually start the Senior 5 Strikes. I said Senior 5 Strikes, it falls on us all every once in a while. We see the hard body class here rocking and rolling here. Can't change the HDMIs, let you see what laps or who's in the lead on this, but just know that these guys here play by about the same ballpark. I don't think they have 3 and out. I think they just put the racer back at the start-finish line. Nonetheless, the system itself will tell me who's winning. T gets a picture of it, and that lets us know what kid's going to bring it home. So it looks like today we only got one kid, no, Bryson too. So we got Bryson and Gunner that are actually eligible for the prize. Everybody else is just racing, having a good time. So we enjoy that. Of course, today is a big day for Lanes Raceway, as you know, this is the day that we make the most money that we can for the track to be able to move to the next place. So we're very thankful for these guys helping us out there, racing, having a good time. It's always a good time here at Lanes Raceway. If you're interested in any kind of birthday package or anything like that here at Lanes Raceway, we do have birthday packages. 2 hours, you got 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after to prep, whether you pick up or bring stuff in. You have control over the TVs, over the music that's played, over the pinball machines, all free play. The iRacing setup with Fanatec force feedback, direct drive system, all free. 8 cars, 8 controllers come with the package, and you know, it's just a good time for you, the family, private events. It doesn't have to necessarily be a birthday. If you guys want to come in and have a board game night or whatever it may be, we're here to help you guys out. Now, of course, during series, which we're going to be running series all year long, Sundays are pretty much out of the question. But any other day of the week, as long as you give us a 2-week notice, we'll put you on the list, and you've got 4 days to cancel. So other than that, we will charge you, and it's a pretty good system. Like I said, we're probably the cheapest around when it comes to entertainment. We do live in Livermore, so there's a little bit of a distance issue for some, but nonetheless, a great place to have a birthday party. And when we move to our next place, of course, it'll be a lot bigger, so there's that too. So Orange going to take the first community there. So we see Randy Kirtley there. He was actually rolling down Orange Lane there. A little bit of an issue through there, but that's exactly what Jackson wanted to see. So we see a hard body fly off of the track there, about hit Briney. Guys are now seeming to somewhat get some of that rhythm down for these wing cars. That's basically what it is, folks. I found out that the best options to run here so far for me and Jackson anyway, as we've been working on his car there coming in around the donut portion of the track, is running a less grippy tire on the right side and a more grippy tire on the inside. So our second community there is going to be a blue and white. We're now in strikes, folks. And it keeps the chatter down because, believe it or not, just that slight income there, and you know, both wheels are moving together. There's no like posi track or nothing on these, so there's no ratcheting system for the tire. And you got to be able to have one side be able to spin while the other is not. I guess maybe you could put a bigger size tire on the outside, and that would probably help too. So that's going to be a strike for green. But that's what we come to. We ended up finally getting his car not to chatter coming around there. And last night before we changed the motor, you could almost go wide open on purple. That's how good we got it set up. So, and I do this for everybody. Glenn's car is in the same situation. I done his car. We moved some weight around, situated it, and it's all based reliance on how high the tires are set on the car to get them to run as fast and slick as they can. So, you know, you can move the motors, you can move the gears, but setting the splines on them, setting it where there's just a little bit of play there, a little bit of give, and making sure everything's good and oiled up and free through the pillows of the back end of the car. If you get all that stuff set up, you can make these cars really handle really extremely well with the high downforce that they have. You see a car shunted up there to the high portion of the horseshoe. Right now, best times, Randy Kirtley 2.887. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Best time, Jackson 2.844. And then Glenn Burton there 2.9. All three of these guys really close together. That's going to be a strike there for white. They're first. Got another car shunted off up there into the beginning portions of the horseshoe. Looks like another strike for white here. Nathaniel struggling this week. I mean, last week that baby was on. Could be nerves. I don't know what it could be, but Nathaniel was cold as ice last week, but that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you go good. Last week Jackson couldn't buy a bucket. This week it looks like Nathaniel's having some issues. Jay Latham, of course, getting used to his new car there, doing a little better than he did the previous week, coming off 3 times in a row on a couple of the heats. So we already know he's doing better after the first couple heats here, still staying in the race, and it's all about that when it comes to the wing cars here. Pretty difficult. Of course, when it comes to the wing cars, we got a wing car series going to the 4 crowns, the purple crown actually going this November. 2 seconds left to go in the heat. Randy Kirtley, you're the leader by 1 lap, and third place right at 7 or so laps down. As you can see right there about where Bruce is, that's the emblem for the spring series there. I wasn't able to get the sunshine with the palm trees in our t-shirt. They messaged me back, said they couldn't do it, which was disappointing. So we moved that off, and it's just the race car there with the black tires, spring series 2024. But still yet good enough, and I think it does scream springtime for sure. And that's a red flag rotation. We'll go ahead and clear these strikes here. Head over here to the track mate here. We can see Randy Kirtley there in the lead, 79 laps, averaging 39.5. Jackson there with 78, averaging 39. Both of their lap times pretty similar. Glenn Burton, same thing, 37 there on blue, matching up with Jackson. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure. 70 laps there, 35 on average. Bruce Bulletin, 32 on average, 64. He's in the mix, folks. And Jay Latham doing a little bit better than last week there on average, 30 with 60 total laps. Nathaniel Burton, 51 with 25.5 on average, having a little bit of trouble this week. Heading over to the oval, we can see the guys working on their cars. They're in between heats and all that. So we'll take you back to Cam 1 and 2. Be right back with you. I'm going to go grab me a drink.
Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds.
All right, here we go. 5 seconds. I got me a tee, folks. We're back at it. 4 red lights dropping out to green. And Jackson, whew, he's already starting to act like he can beat Randy Kirtley, so we'll see. We'll see if he can beat Randy in his home field here. So we see a car fly to the outside there. Calling himself Nighthawk earlier. Let's see who this car is. All right, that's going to be Jackson. So pride comes before the fall, folks. Let it be a lesson to you. Jackson, if you're out there watching tonight, pride comes before the fall. Never get too braggadocious as you're going to take the first community here. And I will say, folks, if you wreck in front of Randy, you pretty much, it's going to be tough whether or not you're going to win. Just ask Guillermo. He said it so many times. He wrecks once, maybe twice. He's like, there ain't no catching Randy. Randy don't wreck. He gets involved in wrecks every once in a while when people wreck and he hits them. But when it comes to wrecking, he's not the type of person to do too much wrecking. Excuse me, I'm stumbling over myself. Not to mention Randy on White Lane turning a 3.035. He is very much outclassing here in the pro class here. 2.961 there on Black. Black to be expected to run decently quick here. As we're going to see our second community here. I think maybe a car might actually be off the track there. And it looks to be Gold Dust yet again. So he's definitely going to get the second community here. And like I said, pride comes before the fall. You always got to keep your wits about you. And you can't go saying you're going to knock down the king when you're still the prince. 1 minute and 12 seconds left to go in the heat. His second community. We're now in strikes. He's going to have to batten up the hatches. I'm training this guy, and I really want to see him succeed, but he's going to have to get more serious if he wants to succeed for sure. I built him a car to win. That's for sure. He's got to bring it home. And see, he's getting too aggressive there. He actually throttled. I don't know if I can do this without tearing it up. Yep, let's see here. Click on whiteboard maybe. No, it's not gonna let me. Well, anyways, right there before the S turn, he throttled right before the turn, and that's what cost him, because he throttled, but he wasn't quick enough out of the trigger to let the back end come around. So he's going to receive a strike there, and he's looking to be senior 5 strikes here if he don't calm her down. He's losing lap after lap. Glenn Burton not going to be taking any stuff here. Glenn Burton's here on the prowl. He's ready to take that second position, and he will do it if Jackson don't reel it in. So we got a stalled car on there, blue, kind of out of their purview there. Yeah, I'm glad he done that. In these situations like that, it takes them a little bit to get their cars to the start line, and when the cars slide down like that, we don't give them a strike. So I don't know what he's doing here. Goodness gracious, I guess they're going to give him a strike. Okay. Well, I'll let the guys run their own race. That's going to be a strike there for Jay then. Well, I did my teeth. There it is. All right, everybody running pretty smoothly here. Glenn Burton now in 3rd position. 5 laps down from Jackson. Jackson giving up 3 laps this heat to Glenn. From sheer wrecking here. We'll see if he's off yet again. See 2 cars off here. And that looks to be Jackson Darty's 2nd. Looks like Jackson needs to practice on black before talking so much smack to Randy. It'll get you. All right, let's see who the other one was. Red on strike. That's the first one. All right, and it looks like Jackson's going to narrowly escape a senior 5 strikes. So we head over to the track mate. We see Randy Kirtley in the lead, 116 total laps, 112 Jackson suffering on a black lane there with 34 laps, 37.3. Glenn Burton there, 38 laps on purple with 36 for the average. Biding his own time there. He was waiting on Jackson to do another wreck. He gained about 4 laps on Jackson in that heat alone. And Glenn's a whole lot better on black than he is purple. So we might see a transition here come next lane between Jackson and Glenn, depending on whether or not Jackson can keep his cool. Bruce Bullington there in 4th position with 100 laps. Don't count him out yet. Only 8 laps. I mean, that's literally, if somebody sets out in 15 seconds, it's the difference between them swapping positions. Jay Latham, same position, and even Nathaniel. So it's still anybody's ball game here, as they say. We can head over to the strike system and clear that out for the next round. Take a look over here at the excuse me. And held my own spit there. The oval going to do a rotation too. Looks like we're about mixed matching here, and staying about pretty close together whenever the heats are over. Bruce Bullington there behind me working on his car. So we'll take you back over to cam 1 and 2, and you can watch, well, pretty much nobody right now working on their cars. Be back with you in about a minute, 20 seconds.
Get out of here. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. 4 red lights dropping out to green. If you didn't know, guys, we're moving into a new facility here shortly. And, of course, Lanes Raceway has been frantically trying to fix things and work things out. The rainstorm coming through did not help the other day. Don't know if you know this, it's kind of new news to you. Come in today, and our star panel had actually popped some of the metal pieces out of the center of it that's holding it up from the wind blowing so hard that it literally blew the top ridge cap up here where Lanes Raceway is now, and it leaked water everywhere in here. And not to mention down at the new Lanes Raceway, found about 5 or 6 new leaks from that big rainstorm that came through, possibly a tornado. I'm not 100% for sure that it was a tornado, but people are saying around here that it was. So definitely keep everybody here in Livermore, Kentucky in your prayers, as I seen a lot of damage that day. We were in Owensboro actually when it took place, and the lights and everything went out. And we actually drove home, and it was hard for us to get to the house. There was so many roads shut down in Livermore with trees down and buildings messed up. There's a few roofs and stuff off of buildings, man. It was just a devastating sight. So yeah, definitely remember us in your prayers there that everything worked out. Now green and blue here, going to get a community. But you know, other than that, this community is one of the best communities I've ever seen in my life. Now, I don't know a whole lot about communities because I've lived here my whole life, but nonetheless, Livermore, Kentucky, man, just a great place to live, good people. There is no such thing as a secret here in Livermore, Kentucky, though. I will tell you that. Small towns, man, there is no secrets. But nonetheless, it was kind of funny. Before we even talked about moving to the new facility, before it was even purchased, a rumor was spread around here that we were moving Lanes Raceway there. So it's pretty wild how things get around. But you know, these people, they really do care for each other and come together as a whole and help each other in times of mishaps and stuff like that. That's why I love this community. And it's not just Livermore. I mean, all of McLean County itself here in Kentucky. It's just a great place to live if you want to raise a family. Good farming community. Not a lot to do, to say the least. But, you know, about Lanes Raceway is about the only entertainment spot, really, other than Country Music Warehouse in Livermore. Yellow and purple there. Going to take the second community. And speaking of the Country Music Warehouse down there in Livermore, keep those families and stuff in your prayers. The roof actually came off of their building. So, you know, definitely keep them in prayer. I know how it feels to have the roof ripped off of your house or your building. In my case, last year, off of our house. So, it's a sad kind of thing, but there's really nothing you can do. The stuff just gets wet. Your ceiling gets wet. You know, you got to put bleach on stuff to keep it from molding. So, you know, it's just a sad deal. But the Lord is good, and everything happens for a reason. Just remember, the Lord's always thinking nothing but the peace for you. You know, He's always constantly thinking of peace for you and a good life. So you just got to keep that in mind for those that believe, you know. Jackson Darty there in second position. Randy Kirtley in first, 139. 5 laps of difference separates them. 3 laps separates the difference from Glenn to Jackson. So really close racing here. 4 of 8, 37 seconds left to go in the heat. We already see a strike there on Jackson. Let's see if he's able to keep his cool and run it nice. 27-27, him and Glenn both tied up laps-wise here, suffering a little bit of lap action there from wrecking as they all cluster up right now, making a dive bomb down low, and they was actually able to get in front. But we'll see that car gets smoked there to the inside. Jackson a little bit upset as he does some sort of dance move there. 17 seconds left to go in the heat. Last night, was trying to help him when we were running the practice heat race. Well, it wasn't really a practice race. It was an actual race for Wing Car Group F. We just had some newcomers in there. They got stock gear ratios and stuff. It's going to be tough for them to keep up with these gear ratios these guys are running. But Jackson, he got up about 30 or 40 laps ahead of some of the guys. And I told him, I said, if you come out once, you're done, where everybody else gets 3 chances, because his car was so outclassed. It's like putting a Ferrari in with a bunch of guys racing Pintos. Of course, he's going to win it, you know. So on one heat, he wrecked right at the beginning, and he let this guy come all the way back, Zach, all the way back to 3 laps ahead of him by the end of the heat. So then he felt a little bit of the pressure, and he was pretty mad at me, which is to be expected, to be mad at me a little bit. But nonetheless, once he got over it, he come in the next heat, and he kind of focused in, and he was about business then. And that's what he's going to have to do here if he wants to hang on to that second position, because Glenn's about business tonight. 154 first position, Randy Kirtley, 38.5 on average. Jackson Daugherty, 147 on average, 36.8. And 144 to round up your top 3 for Glenn Burton, 36 on average. Glenn Burton actually not having a very good black lane either, which is surprising because Glenn really does well on the black lane. So that helped Jackson out stay in the position that he's in. But we see Jay Latham and Bruce Bullington both making a charge up to try to get a piece of Glenn there. Nathaniel Burton there with 121. He's waiting for somebody to wreck out for sure. And I think I would be in the same position thinking, I'm wanting to see some people wreck out a little bit. But the racing's been pretty close here so far. Nice and clean racing. You see there on the oval track, the hard body guys racing hard, getting their stuff stickered up for the next rotation. And, of course, the hard body is a mainstay here at Lanes Raceway. Guys love running the old hard bodies on the FCR hard body chassis. And it's a good time. Got the strikes reset, main menu here. I'm trying to get back to cam 1 and 2. We're at cam 1 and 2 now. Minute and 15 seconds. We'll be right back with you.
The race starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds.
All right, green flag racing. Here we go, minute 57 seconds. Round robin, 5 of 8. Randy Kirtley still your leader, 156. Tough to beat Randy Kirtley. One of these days, somebody's going to come in here and give him a run for his money. Right now, those people tend to be Glenn Jay, sometimes Jackson and Nathaniel, but the majority of the time, usually Guillermo Sire. So we'll see if all that changes. These guys constantly getting better day by day. I would love to put it side by side to the first time that we ran the wing car series here versus now, because I remember it was rough. It's a lot, and I mean a lot, I reckon, the first time we ran this. I think on average it took about 2 hours to run a race, so that was, you know, a big difference. That's a second community there for Black Lane, Jay Latham. Moving into the New Lanes Raceway, though, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to take a little bit of downtime on the orange as we move to the Eton track, and we're actually going to rebraid and bondo up the blip portion of the orange track, kind of smooth things out. You know, it's 20 years this car has had anything done to it, or this track's had anything done to it, so it's time to do a little bit of renovating on the old orange track, and then I believe we'll probably move from that to the orange track, or the circle track, to be able to repair some of its stuff, maybe polish up some of the paint a smidge, and get some new braid on it, because down on Dead Man's Corner it's looking rough too. So the problem you have with a lot of these tracks is surface mounted braid. Now it's going to be a strike there for Blue. That surface mounted braid, man, you run some of these guide flags, some of them are like sharp to the tip. You run it across there in a wreck, or get a body flipped over, a hard chassis, get into that braid, and it just mangles it. And I've actually had braid cut in two over there on the circle track that we had to actually repair. I mean, literally during the race, I couldn't pull the braid out and, you know, re-wire nut it together. So what we did is I laid a big bunch of flux down, and I basically poured sorter to make it to where that it would mend it. Purple and black taking a strike here. That's the second one for purple, first for black. And yeah, it worked. We got through the race that night, and that was when we first got here, and then we re-braided it afterwards, and actually moved the start-finish line after that. Start-finish line was right after the crook of the track there, and it still shows as a start-finish line, but it's not the start-finish line. The start-finish line is actually before Dead Man's Corner now. Gabriel Kirtley, owner of Lanes Raceway, actually spotting cars tonight. Yellow and purple there. That's 3 for purple, Gabe. That's 3 for purple. He's out. All right, 4 red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. Somebody else coming off there. Looks to be on the back stretch. Speaking of back stretch, this little cloth seat that I'm in, look at my back itch. There's Bruce Bullington and Gabriel Kirtley there, bringing the cars around to get them spotted in there. It's going to be another one for black, another one for yellow, and a first one for orange. Coming up next, the midway through race of the Hometown Heroes class. here at Lanes Raceway. A little bit different than you've been normally seeing. We're going to qualify tonight, folks. So the guys are going to set up. We'll get the names set into the qualifier, and I'm going to do that as soon as this race is over with, as soon as the hard body's over. We're going to be qualifying, folks, and I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting because half of the cars are going to go to one heat. The other halves are going to go to the other. These heats are 30-second rounds, 4 cars in each heat. Top 2 going on, top 2 getting sent to the B main. And we're going to have an A main and a B main, and then we're going to have the feature, folks. So it's going to be exciting. Blue lane. Going to take another strike. We also have driver introductions. Probably give the driver some time just to talk on the microphone while we're getting everything set up in between times of qualifying. Maybe talk to them after the qualifying. Because we're doing pretty good on time here. Right now about 7 o'clock. That gives us a couple of hours really as the kids, you know, they need to be in bed at a decent time. I believe that. Randy Kirtley there, 192 in first place right now. Still holding it down. 38.4. Jackson Darty starting to come back into his own there, keeping his wits about him a little bit. 185, second place, 37. Glenn Burden, he's right there with Jackson, hanging on there. 5 laps difference between the two, just waiting on Jackson to make a mistake. Jay Latham doing the same for Glenn. Nathaniel doing the same for Jay, and Bruce doing the same for Nathaniel. So we still got quite a bit of racing here left to go. Gonna head you on over to the strikes here, clear them out. I'll leave you with Cam 1 and 2. Be right back with you. All right, sorry about that. Snuck up on me there. We're in round robin 6 of 8, and as you can tell, no wrecks so far. These guys are running pretty clean. And it looks like we got a wreck here. And that's going to be a community there for Bruce on black. Four red lights are dropping out to green. Here we go. See a second community here. Possibility of Black Lane being rolled up here. I'll keep an eye out on it. This heat or this rotation here. I'm going to keep an eye on Black here, see if he pops out in the same spot. Again, if he does, I'm going to take a look at the track. Black shunts purple there a little bit, knocks them off. It's a real tight move there. And there we go, Bruce and Nathaniel there talking to each other. That's going to be a strike for Nathaniel. We see Bruce there letting Nathaniel by right then. Be Jay Latham coming off there on yellow lane. I'll take a strike. Jackson Daugherty getting him put back in there. Oh, right out of the gate there, we get another one shot to the outside. That looks to be Nathaniel Burton there. And he's having a rough day today. It looks like he's having about a day like Jackson was having last week. Jackson, of course, back in good spirits here as he's run 26 laps so far there on White Lane. So he's pretty happy with that, I'm sure. 3.070 is best lap time. That's pretty close to what Randy was running. So him and Randy Kirtley are definitely dialing it out and decking it out. The only difference is Randy hasn't wrecked and Jackson has several times. If Jackson just keeps his cool, he's got a possibility of actually getting there. But he's in about the same situation Glenn's in. Glenn's wanting just a little bit more out of his car to catch Jackson. Having some issues here doing so. So we're going to see a strike there for Black Lane. Bruce Bulletin's first strike. Of course, he took a couple communities there, so he has a chance to be a senior 5 strikes. 20 total seconds left to go. 6 of 8. We're 3/4 of the way through on this race. Ooh, and a little side-by-side close action between Bruce and Nathaniel there. Nathaniel getting the edge out as both their cars kick out through the horseshoe portion of the track. 2 seconds left to go, and we get a track call. Jackson Daugherty going to grab, I think he missed the car there in the horseshoe. There he goes, he got it then. I believe that might be Glenn Burton there on orange. Taking his first strike. And a strike on white. Orange and white's first strike. Both of these guys battling it out too for second position. So no advancements here, but I'm sure neither one of them wanted to wreck. So we get a red flag rotation there. We're going to be rotating. We'll check the track mate out. Randy Kirtley currently in the lead, 232 laps, averaging 38.7. Right behind him there, Jackson Daugherty 37.2 on average with 223 laps. Glenn Burton 218 with 36.3 to round up your top three podium guys. Get over to the strike. We're going to clear this out. Watch the oval for a little bit, and we'll be right back with you.
Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds. Over. Get ready. Yellow flag.
All right, folks, I'm back. First community strike there on White Lane. All right, looks like the first community going to Glenn Burton there. He's been a tough competitor all day long. He's got it within 6 laps to Jackson. Jackson's been cold-blooded as he's had another race under his belt this week. We got a big crash happening underneath the bridge there. It's going to be our second community here. Me and Gabe talking about the next Lanes Raceway, about having a couple AI chips installed for, I think he called it Coral, if I'm not mistaken. Having those chips installed to actually track the cars. But coming up next, I'm going to actually try to track them. Red and orange here. It's going to take a community. Oops. Oh, yeah? Okay. She got her some bubble gum next door. Mexican restaurant, La Cabana, here in Livermore, Kentucky. Good Mexican food. Definitely check it out if you're around the way or coming here to race some slot cars. Good Mexican. I eat there at least a couple times a month. But yeah, we were talking about the next place having about 3 cameras set up to follow cars. They got this stuff called Coral AI. And my brother, he knows how to program all that kind of stuff. So we're planning on having a better camera system when we move. Of course, you guys know this camera system here is basically a system meant for security purposes at your home. But it works. It's decent for slot car racing, but we wanted something a little bit better when we move down there. We'll have. Okay, I was curious about that. Okay, and that's going to be a strike on white lane. But yeah, when we get that going on down there, it's definitely going to be a better viewer experience, and you'll be able to track these cars a lot better. So a lot of the times, you can't get a little bit nauseated from seeing the cars whip by so quickly and stuff like that. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for Lanes Raceway. We're always doing something a little strange here. A little bit different, I guess you would say, than other slot car places. But we got the freedom to do so we're going to do it. We've been doing this for 30-something years, so we've had plenty of experience of doing little quirky type things with slot car racing. It's anything to keep it kind of fun. Like I said, there's a reason we've been doing it for 30 or 40 years. We've always enjoyed slot car racing. So the strike thing is definitely a fun thing. We came up with this down in the basement simply because we didn't want to knock our heads off all the time on the beams going back and getting the cars. And you can see sometimes these guys really race hard. And when that happens, a lot of wrecks can ensue. So 3 strikes just kind of eliminates some of the extra time that it would take to run a race. See Nathaniel Burton placing a car. That's orange. Going to take a strike. 20 seconds left to go. Round robin 7 and 8. We're almost all the way through this. I would say we'll probably, if things go well, I hate to take a guess, but I would say if things go well, we'll probably see 7 o'clock. This thing will be ready to be done, and we'll be getting ready for the hometown heroes. Well, some of the guys running their new bodies this week. A few of them got their new clear-coated bodies. This week, believe it or not, the clear coat came in, and it didn't bust on me, so that was a very pleasant thing that took place. And we got about 7 or 8 of the car bodies cleared, so that's pretty nice. The guys do like the cleared bodies. It's only cost them $7, and it's real car clear, so it's Glamour Clear 2K from PPG. Randy Kirtley, 271, in the lead right now with 1 heat left to go. Black, a strong one for him. He also not turning a very impressive purple lane there with 39 laps. He's kind of biding his time there, it looks like. Him and Jackson pretty close together. I just don't know if Jackson's going to be able to make it unless Randy crashes out. And we can see a closer battle there between Jackson and Glenn for second position, 257, 253. And it's just going to boil down to who can keep their wits about them. Everybody else kind of in the run for 4th position. But we'll take a quick look over here at the oval and look at these guys. It looks like they're in between 1-2. So we'll go ahead and clear the strike system out here. And take you over to cam 1 and 2 for the final heat, and we'll be right back with you. All right, final heat, folks. Here we go. It all boils down to this. Midway point through after today. Nothing but replace races, folks. Minute and 53 seconds. Randy Kirtley out in the lead substantially by about 14 laps. Jackson Darty in second, 261. Up in the lead by about 4 or so laps. A little bit of serious demeanor there as we roll through this heat. Kind of a serious, somber kind of attitude, really. But he's hanging it in there. He's bringing home business, and if that's what it takes, good. I mean, some of the training for me is paying off. Me and Jackson have conversations on the daily about slot car racing, and he's always trying to improve. He's trying to coach somebody a couple of days ago. I said, man, you trying to coach or you trying to be a racer? He says, I'm going to be a racer. I said, well, then quit trying to coach other people to be better than you. That's just the way it is, folks. You're either a coach or you're the player or racer in this aspect here. As we see another community there for orange. Orange and white both getting the community. Lindbergh rolling back around there. Evidently tempers are flaring here a little bit over the wing car race here tonight. But that's just good competition. These guys are pretty good guys after the race is over with. I'm sure there'll be some hands shook as Frost King himself, Randy Kirtley, slams into a car. This will be the second community here. It's going to be orange and black. Currently watching bowling here at Lanes Raceway. It's pretty interesting. They've really changed the way bowling alleys look, man. They got like TV screens and stuff as the bowling part. That's wild to me. Like this dude's bowling, you can literally see a line where his ball hit the floor and rolled to the pins. Check it out on FS1. Pretty cool, man. I mean, it takes a pretty innovative kind of guy to make a bowling alley like that. I'd like to go to a bowling alley like that one day.
Where's that one? I don't see that one.
It's right over here. Right behind you.
One.
That one?
Yeah, I can only see that one.
Yeah, this is the main event. Hang on, I'll swap over there. Let me get a strike here on orange, okay?
I'm on one.
So that track is right here. See it?
Yeah, I
That's
see
that
it.
track. Full red lights drop out to green. Here we go, folks. We got about a minute left, a little over a minute. These guys are doing pretty good, though. We see a stalled car coming off of what looks to be red lane there. That's going to be Glenn Burden taking a strike. If you like slot car racing, this is not a club. You can come in. You can be anybody off the street and come on in here and join in on some of this action. And it's only going to get bigger and better as we progress through going to the new Lanes Raceway. And I'm going to tell you, we got high expectations for the things to come in the next 5 to 10 years. So definitely come and join us. Join in on the fun. Join in on the action here. See Jay Latham passing a car there. A bunch of guys cracking up, laughing there on the back stretch. And that's going to be a white lane strike. It's pure carnage right now over at the Oval. Several cars coming off there in the high banks, one of them on their lid. Rodney there bringing them around, getting them set up. We now have exactly 1 minute and 1 second left to go in the heat. Round robin 8 of 8. 5 laps separating Jackson from Glenn, very close. And probably right at 20 laps separating Randy from Jackson. We got another pause here and a good coast there for Jay Latham off the high banks. See a strike there for red. Glenn, the only one that actually brings the car by and lets me see the sticker. I do like that though, because I can't hear anything. Guys, what I'm hearing is the music from Epidemic Sound. I need some noise canceling earphones so I can properly be able to speak into this and not hear the outside voices and stuff talking. I tried that once before. It's very tough to make a cohesive thought when there's a lot of noise going on. It's still tough anyway, but nonetheless, maybe in the next Lanes Raceway, I make me a little sound booth or something. That'd be pretty good. Let's get another yellow flag here. 18 seconds left to go. Randy Kirtley in the lead. Looks like we might be seeing the finishing aspects here. Randy Kirtley, 304, first place, 288 Jackson, and 282 Glenn Burden. We're going to see Yellow Lane take a strike here. And that's pretty much it, folks. Your top three there. Randy Kirtley, first place. Jackson Darty, second. Glenn Burden in third. Jay Latham in fourth. Nathaniel Burden in fifth. And Bruce Bulletin in sixth. Head over to the strikes here. Clear those babies out. We'll take a quick look here at the track mate. So we have some final thoughts here. Randy Kirtley, he just come out of the gate, never really did relent. He's got this car down pat, folks. 38.8 on average, a couple laps ahead average per heat than everybody else. Jackson's starting to give him a bout for his money, 36.8. Glenn, he's right there too. Probably a new power plant for Glenn. Might get him back up there in the mix. But Randy, man, he has just got a hanger there for sure, 35.2. Jay Latham, 279. He did better than he did last week for sure. As he got fourth position here, 34.9. Nathaniel Burden, 32.4 on average for 259. He had a suffering kind of weekend. Bruce, of course, also did have a little bit of a rough weekend there. Nathaniel, of course, getting senior 5 strikes early on did not help there with that 21 laps. But what a race, folks. What a race. As we can see, the race is also over here on the oval track. We're going to be getting ready into our main event this evening. Coming up next, Hometown Heroes, like you've never seen it before. You've seen the regular race, 2-minute heats, rocking and rolling. We got our special midway through race, and we have chosen it to be for the Hometown Heroes. And what that's going to entail, we got qualifying, we got heat races, we got all-out feature races, and we got main events. Folks, coming up next, Hometown Heroes. Thank you for tuning in for the wing car race here at Lanes Raceway, and what a race it was. God bless you. And I'll see you in the next race, Hometown Heroes, here at Lanes Raceway.